Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are doing the Shrine of Secrets review for the 16th of November 2022. I'm sorry for not doing one last week. I got too busy, and every time thought I would have time to do it, I didn't. Plus God of War Ragnarok came out and I kind of prioritized that over DVD for a couple of days, so I wasn't playing the game anyway. So I'm here this week, and yeah, I'm gonna try and keep it a bit more regular. I want to do a proper video soon. I just don't know what to do for it yet because I don't really have any ideas other than just playing killers, which I'm fine with, but I don't really have any other ideas. So do let me know if you have some you'd like to see. But anyway, we're gonna get started. First of all, we have Breakout, which is a Yui perk, and this one has so when a survivor within 6 meters of you is being carried by the killer, you gain the haste stats effect, so you move at 7% increased movement speed, and the carried survivor's wiggle speed is increased by 20%. So essentially, it's like you escort the survivor in a way. You're like their bodyguard pretty much. You run around them, you move faster, so it kind of baits the killer to try and swing more, which obviously when you're carrying someone is not great because obviously it slows you down and you can't lunge. And it also means the survivor being carried can wiggle out faster as long as you're within the 6 meters. 6 meters isn't a lot, but like I said, you've got the movement speed, so it's usually all right. The killer can usually tell if you have it because as you get more experience with the game, you can kind of tell when people are moving faster than normal. So I feel like they would be able to, and also depending on how quickly the survivor wiggles out. So this one's definitely one that you need like a build around for it, and you also probably should try and do this with teammates, as in with survivor friends. You can try do this solo, but it's probably not recommended because you can't really be coordinated. You have to basically just waste the game following the killer chasing someone so that you can be there when they get picked up. Also, if the survivor gets picked up next to a hook, that pretty much doesn't do anything because they're right there. So even though they can wiggle out faster, it doesn't really work if that makes sense because they're right there. So I feel like this perk is one of those that needs like a whole thing around it, and you need to be very like coordinated and skilled. But it's another fun perk, and even though I don't really use it, I can see the value in it, and I've definitely played against people using it as well. Next up, we have Spirit Fury, which is a spirit perk, and this one has it so once you break 2 pallets, it charges up, and the next time you're stunned when it's charged, it will instantly break the pallet, but you will still suffer from the stun effect penalty. So this one, I think, I quite like this one, and I feel like this one's very popular because people like to use it with Enduring, which reduces the stun penalty by 50%. So if you use it with this, the pallet gets broken instantly, and you instantly recover from the stun. So basically, it's as if they haven't even dropped a pallet. It's just basically like, you know what I mean? Like, it basically just essentially does nothing. But I feel like this one by itself is still great because it's kind of unexpected, and even though, like I said, it is popular with Enduring, I feel like you can still get value from it by itself because it still kind of negates the stun effect, and it kind of negates the survivor trying to defend themselves because the pallet gets instantly broken. So even though you'd still get stunned, it's not that long, I guess. And depending on what loop you're on, they won't really get much distance anyway. So, yeah, like I said, feel free to use that with this perk, but I'm just saying, like, this perk still works by itself. And to be honest, I use it most of the time by itself because I don't know how I feel about using 50% of my perk slots just for that, I feel like just using Spirit Fury just does the work anyway. And it's really easy to charge. Like I said, you just have to break 2 pallets. So that's pretty good, I would say. It's not too bad. Next up, we have Sprint Burst, which is a Meg perk. And this one is so once you press... Oh, sorry. Oh, my nose just went really weird then. Okay, sorry. Yeah, once you press the sprint button, you sprint at 150% of your normal running speed for 3 seconds, and then you are exhausted. This one is probably one of the strongest exhaustion perks we have because you literally press a button and you go fucking zooming. But this one requires a bit of thinking and a bit of strategy to use because you can't just use it like every time that you've got it, if that makes sense. Because obviously once you use it, you have to wait 40 seconds to recover. And that's not including if you're running or, being chased or anything like that. So you have to use this one quite strategically. It's probably best to use something like self-aware with it because that makes you walk faster anyway. So that's kind of helps promote you to save the perk, if that makes sense, to save the sprint burst when you need it. But yeah, it's definitely very strong, but I definitely think you need some time to like practice it and like learn how to use it properly and everything because I feel like some people will just use it because they've been told it's good, which it is, but then they'll just like every time they have it available, they'll just use it for like no reason pretty much. You know, this one's probably best for trying to like get away from the killer or again just anything to do with the killer really. Probably not just best just to use it to just sprint to like the next gen or something. You know, if it's close by, you can just walk. And even though walking is slow, it's probably best than wasting your sprint burst if that makes sense. So very strong perk. Just be wary of how to use it. Finally, we have Zanshin Tactics, which is a only perk, and this one has it so you can see the auras of breakable walls, pallets, and vaults within 32 meters. You see it all in the yellow aura, and I've covered these perks before, so I'll just say that this is really good for learning killer or just learning loops in general. But just keep in mind the yellow auras are really annoying sometimes, and especially on certain maps like Dead Dog, where there's loads in one building or in one area of the map. Like, you can't see anything. Like, the yellow auras are just fucking crazy. And 32 meters is a big range, so just keep in mind that you'll probably get a headache or something, because that's probably one of the reasons why I stopped using this perk a while ago. But it's definitely good for learning loops, and you know, if there's like a new map out, you can use this perk for like a couple matches just to get a kind of the hang of it, if that makes sense. Because next week we're getting the new chapter, and there's a new map of that, and to be honest, it's confusing as fuck. So it's probably a good idea for something like that. But yes, definitely not terrible. But I think at some point you'll outgrow its usefulness and outgrow getting headaches. So, which ones to buy? I would say, I think Sprint Burst is probably the best perk on this, but Meg's a free character, so I'm not going to say buy it because you can just level up Meg. It's like level 30. Oh no, it works with prestiges now, doesn't it? Yeah, so just prestige Meg at least once, and then that's that. Breakout, if it sounds fun to you, go ahead, because it is a fun perk, but if you haven't got friends or anything to play and use this with, then probably not, because it's not too great for solo. Zanshin, again, if it appeals to you and you feel like that would be helpful to you, go ahead, because all these other perks are pretty meh. So, yeah. Spirit Fury's fun and it is useful. So, again, I would say this is probably like the second one I would recommend, because this one probably gets you like good value, and the other two are kind of just passive things that may or may not work. So, yes, try that. Guys, that's good from me. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you found this useful. I'm sorry again for not being here last week, and I'll see you in the next one.